Gonna make me cry. Goodness gracious. I do have to bring up. Okay. I'm gonna just go with it. I've got this guy coming through, and he's kind of coming through as a contemporary, similar to our gal over here, but this is different in that there was, like, I think, a romantic connection with this guy. This guy's putting more of an emphasis on a romantic connection. This man would have passed away prematurely, and he keeps giving me Ted. Ted, okay? Not a name I get frequently, but I gotta talk about a Ted. Now, what I can tell about Ted, he's showing me a darker complexion, so I don't know what that's all about, but he's just showing me a visual representation of, I think, how he looked. I just kind of get more of a darker complexion. But Ted keeps showing me this feeling of, like, premature death, feel like I died too early, feel like I passed away too soon, coming through as, like, either friend, lover, connection, but kind of in a roundabout way, and it's hard to say. Excuse me, and as I'm actually actively coughing, he's bringing me to my lungs, and I feel like there was some issue with that in some capacity. So does any of that rings a bell for you? Okay, I think I'll go with you. Excuse me, one sec. I swear I don't have COVID. I've already been there. Been there, done that. And I'm not certain if I'm with you, but we're going to figure it out. So we'll see, because I definitely, it's a weird situation. Weird. I've got Ted. And you've got Ted. Cool, I'll keep you in mind. Anybody over here have a Ted? You have a Ted? Okay. But darker complexion is kind of the key with this one. Darker complexion. Okay, I don't know if I'm with you. Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
Whew.
Good. I'm going to try my best. Let me grab my scribble pad so I can facilitate the process. I'll explain, actually, scribbling. I realized I haven't explained why I scribble, but we'll get into that in the next question. Totally fine if this doesn't make sense for you, but I just am going to throw it at you because it's what's coming in, okay?
Okay.
I've got a situation involving a Ted. I feel like darker complexion comes through not necessarily as biological family, but still comes through as, like, lovely in the way this comes across. Do you know who this is?
Yep.
Who was Ted?
He was my ex.
Okay, your ex. Do you understand the darker complexion?
Yep.
Okay, love that. And as this is coming in, I feel like this guy dealt with a lot in life, but I feel like he didn't let it stop him, is kind of the only way to describe it. To the best of his ability, he was like, if everybody else is doing stuff, I'm going to do stuff, and I'm not going to let it slow me down. I know this is a weird thing to say, but he showed me, like, you know when grass gets mowed, how that, like, can kind of inflame your throat and your, I don't know why I feel like I have allergies really badly.
Yep.
I feel like I have to bring this up, but it's, like, more than that.
Yep.
What is that all about?
He passed of sarcoidosis, which is a worse form of valley fever.
Oh my God.
And he, his lungs would fill up with fluid all the time.
I'm so sorry. Gosh. I want you to know he's coming across jumping and happy and positive and, like, just absolutely lovely in the way this comes across, but he very much still feels connected to you is the only way that I would describe it.
Yeah.
There's still very much a feeling of, like, thinking about him, talking about him.
All the time.
I feel like you bring him with you in everything that you do.
All the time.
I have to talk about Dad, your father. I feel like I need to bring up. I feel like that might be somebody you were hoping to hear from today.
Yes.
And I need you to know they're coming through together in the way this comes across. I feel like you had a couple dad figures, though, throughout your life.
Oh my God, yes.
Now,
I have two dads. I have his dad.
I love it.
And then I have a stepdad.
Are both passed, or what's the deal? Okay, gotcha. Now, are both of those cancer deaths, or only one?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. We got both. Because I feel like I have to highlight this in the way this comes across. One of them comes across as a bit of a ladies' man. Now, there's this joke about, like, if I don't make it to 90, I'm going to be infuriated. But then I feel like somebody didn't make it to 90. Do you understand that joke? Okay, I feel like he's bringing this up in kind of like a funny, kind of tongue-in-cheek way is the only way to describe it. But
He passed away at 89.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Because he's having me bring up some acknowledgement of either being with a sister figure or someone who would be to the side of him. So if a sister for him passed, or if there is a, like, sister figure, sister-in-law, sometimes we'll kind of get that feeling in some capacity. But remember that I'm saying that, because that seems to be coming in some capacity. There's a joke also within the family of like, I keep having girls and I want a boy. And so, okay, bear with me. There's 4 kids that I feel like I have to talk about in the family. 4 children, 4 siblings, that kind of thing, okay? There's a joke about like 3 are all the same and 1 is different.
Oh my God.
Do you understand that?
That's me. I'm different than everybody. I tell my dad that I belong to his sister. Oh my God.
It's these things that come through that are kind of their way, again, of validating the factual things, the dynamic things. And he needs you to know that when it comes time, he's having me talk about your mom, all right? And I wish I could give you a hug right now. I wish I could. I wish we're in a pandemic. But I need you to know that he's going to be there for mom whenever the passing happens, all right?
No, my mom is 94 years old right now, and I take care of her. She has dementia.
Yes, and I am so sorry.
I quit working so I could take care of her 24 hours a day. And I'm always talking to them when I get aggravated with her. I said, Mom, Nene and my dad aren't happy right now that I have to be this mad at you.
Yeah? Well, I just need you to know, I feel like this is from him. You are doing an amazing job. He feels so proud of you, and this might be a funny message. Oh, one last thing. He sees himself in you. So I know you might feel like, oh, I don't know, I'm like the different one of the family, but he felt that way too on some level, and he acknowledges that, and thank you for your work for your mom. That is amazing.
Thank you.
Gonna make me cry. Goodness gracious. But to me, I love situations like that because those kind of funny wink, wink, nudge, nudge things come through, those things that are only known between families or conversations that are had between families. Often even someone's thoughts or how they feel will be reflected in a reading, and it's just their way of validating that they're aware of us and what we do and how we live.